Hi everyone, welcome back to another Designer Soup. This is the June edition, and this recording is done at the Public Works studio in Mount Lavinia. I'll be talking about the magician archetype, and in this case I'll be talking about particularly technology. And this could be anything from computers to software to ChatGPT. Essentially, these are tools. What are the tools that we use to make the impossible happen? So the magician archetype is particularly common, I find, amongst businesses that leverage quality and time. These are the kind of businesses that always promise to make dreams come true. Most magician brands we've worked with have been in the hotel tourism industry and the creative industries. Mostly they were service-based. For Public Works, I spent a lot of time developing more effective ways to tell meaningful stories. And looking at ways in which technology can help us achieve that is part of my job. So here are three ways we use technology to make the impossible happen. The first one is efficiency, in terms of time, but also in terms of output. I think technology has the ability to complete tasks with wide scopes in a relatively short time, much faster than if we did it entirely ourselves. So the tools we have available to us now allow us to complete tasks much faster than ever before. And with so much information now available to us, particularly information that's published online and shared every day, accessing so much information and extracting pertinent information is a task I think best suited for a computer or an algorithm. For example, we use image aggregators to explore the semiotics of a particular idea. For example, Pinterest has an incredibly powerful algorithm, and despite its limitations in terms of what it can show you, we regularly use it to illustrate a visual spectrum for clients. The interesting thing about Pinterest, in fact, for me, is its limitation. It's what I like the most about the software. You see, Pinterest only shows you what people upload. So it can't synthesize any ideas. And it certainly can't show something that hasn't been already made. So we use it to illustrate a visual spectrum. In other words, we show examples of existing graphics that have similar brand characteristics to a particular business persona, to the framework that we're developing for a business, a brand framework or a story framework. With a tool like that, I can create visual boards quickly and effectively. Image aggregators are getting so powerful now that they can match images to search queries very, very well. So what used to take a designer a full day at the public reference library, now it takes a couple of hours online. So technology can make it possible for small teams and even an individual designer to consider a wider range of data. The next consideration is the high fidelity of technology. We gain an enormous amount of precision in scale and consistency with these kinds of tools. Moreover, I think it creates opportunities for us to investigate the feasibility of an idea. In terms of prototyping and testing, it can make this part of the design process more profitable for those doing the work and more cost-effective for those paying for it. I think it's a win-win. For example, we regularly use mock-ups to test logo ideas in different situations. Not to say that the standard printout mock-up or test prints or even 3D builds are not important or obsolete, but rather that digital mock-up is just a cheaper testing method, particularly for situations where a full prototype exercise would be overkill. For example, when you're testing a logo or any kind of graphic system for uniforms or on a vehicle or something like that, it's good practice to make a physical mock-up and test print the idea to make sure that there are no foreseeable problems. So if you plan on printing these graphics on 1,000 vehicles, or ordering 50,000 T-shirts with these graphics on it in one shot, then it's worth spending the extra money getting physical printouts and exploring these things, and even testing the sticker on the vehicle first. But if you're doing a small order, and you're planning on printing more in the future, so there is opportunities to fix any problems, the digital mock-up, it just makes sense, and it's more cost effective. And if you have to, you could always use a mock-up that has set multiple perspectives, so you can make sure that from all the angles, or from most angles, you can check to see if there's any problems. So the high fidelity that technology allows us to do in terms of testing can identify the strengths and weaknesses of an idea quite well. The other consideration, or the other idea about technology, using technology in your practice or for your business, is its agility. Technology reduces the effort required to consider alternative versions of an idea, particularly in terms of investigating different elements or parts of an idea. I think designers can try different arrangements. They can look at shapes, sizes, explore textures, lines, or color relatively easy. I think we underestimate, for example, the value of just the command paste in place or undo. I think it's fair to say that these two commands combined have reduced more friction in the crafting of graphics than any other tool. Come to think of it, I think it's no coincidence that the famous proverb, work smarter, not harder, was coined around the same time the first computer calculator was invented. Now, the thing about using technology like this, particularly to move quickly and easily, is that before you can achieve that agility, it requires getting over the learning curve first. We once used an AI software to index all the footage from a shoot. Then we prompt it to cut and edit alternative versions according to criteria. So in this case, it's important to consider these things, particularly when you're going to use any kind of software or technology to improve the business, is to consider the cost of that as well. And in this case, we decided that it was quite easy to use, and it ended up doing a great job. Even with the learning curve, the investment on time on our part, we still were within budget. So reducing friction in the creative process is particularly important to us. The technology we use is the factory, and the more efficient and the more precise, and the ease at which it produces, we think improves our business, but increases value in our production. I think designers and technologies have a reciprocal relationship. The way graphic designers use technology can influence the next generation of tools, and those tools also influence the next generation of graphic designers. And I think is when those two come together, particularly now, seamlessly, without friction, to solve the problem, is magical.